Happiness is something that we all strive for, but there isn't a clear prescription for the desired feeling. Social scientist Arthur C. Brooks, who teaches a happiness course at Harvard University, has been searching for the answers about what it means to be happy for decades, and he's arrived at some conclusions. In Brooks's recent book with Oprah Winfrey, the pair explain that your goal in life should not be to attain happiness, but to constantly strive for happierness. Is that the word they use? Lol, yes. Brooks often emphasizes that happiness is not a destination, but a direction, something that you should aim to increase without an end goal in mind. It's not just, go get happier. That's too general, Brooks said on a new episode of the 10% Happier with Dan Harris podcast. I talk about the subparts, the macronutrients of happiness. When I meet somebody, I can figure out pretty quickly where their diet is not up to snuff, where they're lacking in their macronutrients of happiness, and we can work on the subdimensions, he added. Here are the 3 macronutrients of happiness, according to Brooks, and how you can optimize them in your life. The happiest people enjoy their lives. They get a lot of satisfaction in their activities and they have a sense of meaning about why they're alive, Brooks said on the podcast. These are the protein, carbohydrates and fat of happiness. People often assume that enjoyment is simply pleasure, Brooks said, which isn't an accurate way to think of it. If you live a life where you're constantly chasing purely pleasurable experiences, that is a terrible way to live a fulfilling life, he said. What we need to do, by the way, is not to get rid of the sources of pleasure, but to add 2 things that will make them more human. Brooks said you can experience enjoyment when you take a source of pleasure and add people and memory to the mix. If you're doing something that's pleasurable and can be addictive, and you don't do it alone, then you can get enjoyment, which is a source of actual, authentic and enduring happiness, Brooks said. There are experiences that you can enjoy solo, like reading a book, meditating or listening to music, but he suggested engaging in social activities like going out for drinks or watching funny videos on social media with people you enjoy spending time with. Satisfaction is the joy, the reward, that you get after you struggle for something, Brooks said. We as humans, we need to struggle, we need to strive, we need to sacrifice. We even need pain in our lives, because that's actually how we earn something. When you feel like something you have is something you've earned, it makes it much more valuable to you in the end, he said. Brooks shared an analogy from his father-in-law that illustrates the concept of satisfaction. The reason people aren't as happy as they should be is because they don't enjoy their dinner, he said. Because they're never hungry.